right, coming up, do you feel like you're always on the go and don't have time to whip up a good meal like Mike? Well, we have some easy recipes for you that are next. I'm picking on you, but it's fun.
Man.
It's fun.
Oh, man. And if you want more, follow us on Twitter. Let's Talk Live DC. Do you feel like you're so busy with work and taking care of your kids that you have a hard time preparing a healthy meal for your family? Well, Heather Stouffer, the founder of Mom Made Foods, and Aviva Goldfarb, the founder of the 6 o'clock Scramble, are here with some tips and tricks for moms and dads on the go. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much for having us.
So today we're talking meatballs.
Yes, kids love meatballs, and moms love meatballs because they're easy to make, but they're also easy to buy healthy meatballs like Mom Made Foods, and make lots of different dishes with them. So we brought you some examples of different things you could do if you have healthy pre-made meatballs.
All right, so let's get started. What's your favorite thing to do with a meatball?
Well, okay, so we have a couple. First of all, for your appetizer, why don't you tell them about that, Heather?
Well, we brought a few yummy things to make with meatballs. These are all very easy. We're busy moms. We get it. The first one could be either dinner or an appetizer. And it's just taking the mom-made antibiotic-free turkey meatball and rolling it in an Asian sauce, sprinkling some sesame seeds on top, and you've got a meal. You could have a salad, or you could serve it as a fancy-looking appetizer.
And kids love to dip foods.
Yeah.
So, you know, whether it's French fries or meatballs, I find that anything that you put on a stick or on a toothpick, they are so much more inclined to eat.
Well, it smells awesome. And the thing about turkey meatballs is that it's so much healthier than the traditional meatball.
Healthy, and also you can kind of sneak a lot of healthy things in, like I know they do with Mom Made Foods. You can sneak a lot of healthy foods into your meatballs also. Sometimes some spinach or some different red peppers, different things like that. And then you can turn them into these healthy meals. So we have also here a meatball and orzo soup.
Okay.
So that's got a little bit of your pasta in it. And we have a bowl of it right here for you, exactly.
Okay. Oh,
and then so you can try it. And then before you do, though, I thought we might want to sprinkle, might want to grate on a little bit of, and this is something that kids love to do too, just grating on a little fresh Parmesan cheese. It makes all the difference in the flavor.
And it's such an easy recipe. It's from Aviva's, the 6 o'clock Scramble. And we make it at our house. We make it as an easy weeknight meal. And using the mom-made meatballs makes it about a half an hour shorter to make it.
Yeah, so then it only takes about 10 minutes to put together, sautéing a little vegetables, adding some broth, and then adding some fresh spinach at the end for some color and extra nutrition.
So much flavor.
Putting in the meatballs. Great. Thank you. And the orzo is always fun. So the kids can kind of go fishing in there and see what's in there, which they like to do.
Well, and the thing about the meatballs on the stick, I know my sister, she has a 6-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 2-year-old. And sometimes it's so hard to get them to eat the meat on their plate. They always, they'll go right for the veggies or dessert. But they have a hard time, she has a hard time sometimes getting them to eat the chicken, to eat the meat. And I think this makes it more fun for them.
Also because I was speaking to a pediatric nutritionist the other day, and she was telling me that one of the reasons that meatballs are so great for, especially for young children, of course adults love them too, is because of their soft, spongy texture, as opposed to really chewy meat that kids have a harder time with. They don't have as many teeth as we do. So that's why meatballs are sort of a great early, she recommends it for an early, kids meat type of food.
And I imagine the soup, once you have all this leftover meatballs after you fed the family, you can dump that into the soup.
Absolutely. Soups are so flexible that way.
These are all recipes that literally ages 1 to 99 will love.
Yeah. All right, and let's talk about this sandwich.
So the last thing we have here is this cute little sandwich. We're making like a little mini meatball sandwich. And so we take a few of our little meatballs here and hope that they don't roll away. And then we have some sautéed just peppers and onions and a little bit of olive oil. It's the easiest thing, and it makes the whole house smell good.
Olive oil is like this miracle worker.
Yes.
You can put olive oil on almost anything.
And it makes it taste better. It makes it healthier, of course, too. If you just use a little bit, you only need about a tablespoon for all this. And so we're going to put some of those on, and then we have a little bit of our prepared tomato sauce. Of course, you can also make it from scratch. But if you're buying prepared tomato sauces, I always tell people to look for ones that don't have added sugar and that aren't too high in sodium.
And what's your favorite brands for bottled tomato sauce?
You know, I switch around all the time, and sometimes I buy it at farmer's market, and sometimes I buy it at Trader Joe's, sometimes I make it. So I kind of like to play around, but that's something that I always look at, because some of them can be super high in sugar and sodium, and that's not really something that I want to feed my family. So the final step here is we take a little piece of provolone, or you can use mozzarella, and then you can just stick them under the broiler in the toaster, and you have these cute mini sandwiches, and who doesn't like to eat mini food?
Right. And you've toasted this sandwich. Do you toast it before or after you prepare the meatballs?
I toast it a little bit before, and then I just stick it under the broiler for the last minute, which is not here right now. But then it just melts the cheese and makes everything warm and toasty.
Meatball subs are so popular. My 6-year-old nephew, he loves meatball subs. They're kind of messy, though. It's not something you necessarily would send them off to school with.
Maybe, you know, what you could do is if you wanted to send them to school, you could put all this stuff in the thermos, and then they could make their own at school. So you give them a little roll, and you give them the meatballs and peppers and sauce in a thermos, and the cheese separately. And kids actually like to kind of compile their meal at school, and their friends are like, "Ooh, what are you having? I don't get anything like that. I just get peanut butter and jelly."
Well, I was going to say, Heather, this is the kind of meal
so
that you could have the kids help you make.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's fun to have the kids get involved. With this one, for example, the kids could do the sesame seeds and put the forks in them.
That is, and we know from studies and from experience that the more kids help you prepare the food, a lot of kids are concerned about their kids being picky and not eating enough. Well, one of the best ways to combat that is to get them involved with preparing the meals. And the more that they're making something like that, or like any of these, the more invested they feel in it, and the more likely they are to sit down and actually try it and be proud of it. And sometimes you might even have them tell the rest of the family, well, what is it? What'd you make? What's in it?
And then it's not a mystery dish by the time it comes to the table. It's something that they are honored to, you know,
to serve it.
To serve to the family.
Learn how to cook it and learn how to clean it up, too. That's a
I think that's an important part, too. I do.
My mom taught me well on that end.
Good.
All right. And great Super Bowl party ideas.
Oh,
Yeah,
that is a great Super Bowl.
absolutely.
So
Or
are the
inauguration
subs, I think,
parties.
too.
That's true.
Yeah.
Heather Stouffer, founder of Mom Made Foods, and Aviva Goldfarb, founder of 6 O'Clock Scramble. Thanks for your time.
Thank
Great
you so
ideas.
much
Mike,
for
it's great
having
being
us.
here with you.
We'll be right back.